One of the biggest things that videographers avoid when it comes to our craft is good audio. I know that sounds weird that video is reliant on audio, but track with me. If you've been in this game for any length of time at all, you know that bad audio will not make a beautiful visual better. However, good audio can make bad visuals better. So in the spirit of stepping our audio game up, I want to talk about the Saramonic ULTRA wireless mic kit and why if you're new to videography or you've been doing it a while and you're wanting to get into new mics, this could be a kit for you. And before we get too far into the video, I want to let you know that Saramonic did send these out to me and asked for my opinion on it. However, they're not paying me a dime to say anything good or bad. One thing that I also want to make clear with this video is I'm going to talk about the features that are important to me and my day-to-day operation. Now, these things are packed with things like time code sync. We have 32-bit flow audio, stereo, mono, and safety track recording. We have a low-cut filter, a vocal enhancer, app control for your iPhone or Android whenever using the transmitter plugged straight in. But again, I want to talk about the things that are important to me whenever I'm out in the field on a day-to-day basis. Right off the bat, I love how these mics come packaged. The case is kind of like it's like a faux leather type deal, but inside, that's where you're gonna find the magic. That is 2 transmitters and a receiver, plus USB-C and Lightning adapter for all of my Android and iPhone users. The cool thing about the adapter for the phones with this system particularly is instead of having a cable that kind of dangles off of your phone, it has a little positive lock which just snaps it right into place on your phone. So whether you're using a mirrorless or professional camera or your phone to create content, Saramonic has you covered when it comes to versatility and adaptability. The mics and the transmitter are the main pieces that come with the kit, but they also send a nice little carrying bag, and for an extra $30, they send out a couple of lavaliers. You also get included a couple of dead cats, a USB-C cable here to plug in the charging case, and an antenna to extend the range of the mics. All that's fine and dandy, but what are the actual benefits to the Mic Ultras? Well, for starters, we have internal recording from the transmitter in 32-bit float. If you're new to video or if you're not very familiar with audio, 32-bit float is the highest fidelity audio that you can get. Think of it like a raw photo. Whenever you shoot a raw photo, you get tons and tons of data that's very flexible to work your image how you want to. 32-bit float is very similar. I'm not going to say that 32-bit float is impossible to clip, but it's very, very hard to clip. And so if you're a solo filmmaker or you're running and gunning, trying to capture good, clean audio, we don't want to have to think about setting levels and whether or not our audio is being blown. We can simply hit the record button on the transmitter. It's going to record a 32-bit float wave, and you have peace of mind knowing that you're going to have high fidelity audio that's not clipped. Second benefit to the Mic Ultras, these things are IPX5 water resistant when you have the dead cat plugged in. Now, I'm not suggesting that you take these on your next deep diving exploration or hike them under a waterfall for 3 hours. What I am saying is because they're water resistant, you have peace of mind knowing that if you get caught out in the rain or they get a little bit wet, your gear's not going to break. One thing that I think people get caught up on with these smaller mics is range, and in my personal opinion, if I am so far away from a subject that I have to boast, range, I'm too far away from my subject. But Saramonic claims that these mics have up to 300 meters in range when using the included external antenna. Again, I'm not big on range tests, but just for the sake of it, we're here at my personal range, i.e. my backyard. I'm gonna walk that way until I get tired of walking, and you can listen and hear if we cut out or if we're pretty clear. So I'm just gonna start walking and talking. I don't have the internal noise reduction turned on right now. I do have the dead cat on, and I have the antenna on the receiver, just in case we go a little further than the intended range and I need that extra reach. And I'm gonna turn away. We have line of sight, but I do have my back turned. So if the signal starts going out, you're gonna know it. And I think we got some storms blowing in from Texas or something, so it's pretty windy out here today. Don't know how far away I am. The camera looks pretty far away, but can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? If not, then I guess we've reached the max range of the transmitter and the receiver. I'm going to the wood line here. Oh, there's some trash that the wind from the last storm blew down into the field. Guess I can go ahead and do my due diligence and
pick my trash up so that my neighbors don't mow over it. Again, I have the dead cat on. It's pretty windy out here today. I don't have the internal noise reduction turned on. And I actually have quite a fiasco with internal noise reductions anyways on these smaller mics. I think a lot of them sound over-processed. I think they make the voice sound wobbly. And one thing that I don't like about the internal noise reduction on these mics in particular is whenever you turn it on, it defaults to the highest level of noise reduction, which is level 3. The only way to change that is to go into the Saramonic app, and you can change the level of noise reduction in the app. You can't actually do it from the mic itself though. So, could you hear me that whole time or no? Let's talk about some of the controls here on the front of the mic itself. Let me come in a little closer here. So on the mic itself, you have 3 buttons basically. You have the button on the front, which is the power button for the microphone. It also will mute the mic. So if you tap it, you'll see a blinking red LED. That lets you know that the mic's muted. You also have on the side the noise cancellation button. Again, it is a 1-click, and the LED ring will glow green, letting you know the noise cancellation is on. So noise cancellation is currently on. Again, it's pretty windy out here. We also on the side have the record button, and that's what activates your 32-bit flow audio. So how does this sound? We have noise reduction turned on. Again, it defaults to level 3. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I guess sometimes you just need some heavy reduction. I'm going to turn noise cancellation off now, and my LED went back to blue, indicating that we no longer have noise cancellation turned on. So this is the range test / outdoor sound test. I think in a controlled environment, these things sound great. And even in a noisy environment, I've had these in my Subaru, which is not a quiet car by any means. It's old and not sound dampened. And I've used it for Instagram reels, TikToks, just talking while out and about, filming social media stuff. And these mics have been pretty solid. I don't use the noise cancellation really at all. And I think these mics do a good job of isolating the voice and just isolating me, really. So I don't know. How's it sound? It's kind of toasty out here. We're having our first true spring of the year here in East Tennessee. In true Tennessee March fashion, it's windy, and we're about to have some massive storms roll through. And before I forget, this is what the 32-bit audio sounds like. The beauty of 32-bit audio is it's very hard to clip. So if I talk super loud into the mic, or if I talk super quiet into the mic, we should, in theory, be able to recover all of that. And that's kind of the beauty of 32-bit float, is you don't really have to monitor it because it's dang near impossible to clip. It's also very recoverable if you have some voices or vocals that are lower volume than you would prefer. I think this is great for runners and gunners. If you're out, following somebody, trying to get some candid moments. Oh no, I have lost the magnet. No, I didn't. If you're following folks trying to get the candid moments and you don't want to have to worry about levels, or you can't hire an audio person to come out on your production, I think these are great. I think this is a good option for those moments, or if you're a wedding filmmaker, whatever. This could be good for you.
Let's talk about the form factor really quickly. The transmitters themselves are a little bit beefier compared to other options in the market, but with that beefiness comes the added features. We have internal noise reduction, we do have internal 32-bit audio recording, and internal storage is 8 gigabytes. So that is a lot of audio that you can record inside this transmitter, but it is a little beefier. If we can get that to focus, it is a little beefier than some of the others, and again, it's because it's packed with so many features. It has to be. The cool thing with this transmitter is you have the option to clip it on, or it has this super powerful magnet, so you can clip it kind of wherever you want to. If you want to hide it all together, I would recommend just using the included lavaliers, especially if you're doing an interview. Please, for the love of humanity, stop putting transmitters on people that you're interviewing, and stop letting them hold it. I hold them just for fun whenever I'm shooting TikToks or Instagram reels, but for actual interviews, please, for the love of humanity, stop holding transmitters and stop putting them on people's chests. Hide those and use a lav or boom in audio if you have the option. I think one of the separating factors with the Saramonic ULTRA mics is the receiver itself has a beautiful touchscreen display that helps you control all your settings. You can control things like your time code, you can control your audio level, the low cut filter, the vocal enhancer. You can change from stereo to mono to a safety track. And this display is beautiful. It's touchscreen, or you can use the control wheel to set everything and get to where you need in the menus. I think that's very intuitive. So Saramonic, good job on the receiver itself. I think that's a very, very cool benefit to having this system. A lot of mics out there, they've got displays, but they're so tiny and they're hard to use. I really think that you guys stepped it up a notch with the receiver on the Ultra mics. If you are new to videography, or you've been in videography for a while and you're looking to up your audio game with a great solid wireless system, I think the Mic Ultras can be for you. I think they're great for wedding filmmakers, documentary filmmakers, if you're doing commercial and corporate interviews. I think these are a great backup audio source, or they could be your main source for many, many different use cases. I think the pros with this system are you're going to have high sound fidelity. You've got the 32-bit flow audio recording, which will help you if you're out running and gunning and don't want to have to think about checking levels. Or even on the higher end of the video game, you do have time code capabilities with time code capable cameras. The Mic Ultra system starts at $269 without the lavs. If you want the lavs, then it's going to cost an extra $30, which put them just at the $300 mark. And I think that's a pretty fair price for all of the features and all the benefits that you get from this mic system. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about the Saramonic Ultras? Do you love them? Do you hate them? And what wireless mics do you recommend for somebody else? I'd love to know those things down in the comments below. And if you like this video, want to see more like it in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I love growing this community here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one, and we will see you in the next.